Have you ever met someone who just felt real? Someone who didn't pretend, who wasn't trying too hard, and yet everyone wanted to be around them? That's the power of authenticity. It's not just a feel-good phrase. Science backs it up. Being true to yourself is psychologically powerful and socially magnetic. In this video, we'll break down the deep psychology of authenticity, why it's so attractive, how it affects your brain and relationships, and how you can become more authentic in a world that constantly pushes you to conform. Stick around. This might just change how you see yourself. Number 1. What does it mean to be authentic? Authenticity isn't about being loud or rebellious. It's not about oversharing or telling it like it is. Authenticity means living in alignment with your values, beliefs, and personality, even when it's hard. Psychologist Michael Kernis defines authenticity as the unobstructed operation of one's true self in one's daily enterprise. This includes self-awareness, knowing your strengths, weaknesses, values, and desires, unbiased processing, seeing yourself objectively without denial, behavioral authenticity, acting in ways that are congruent with your beliefs, relational authenticity, being honest and open in relationships. People who are authentic don't wear masks. They don't people please or pretend to be someone else to gain approval, and that's what makes them so compelling. Number 2. The psychological roots of authenticity. So, where does authenticity come from? And why does it feel so right when we're being true to ourselves? It all ties back to something called self-determination theory, SDT, a well-researched psychological framework developed by Deci and Ryan. SDT proposes that we all have 3 basic psychological needs: autonomy, the need to feel in control of our own lives; competence, the need to feel capable and effective; relatedness, the need to connect deeply with others. When we are authentic, we're meeting all 3 of these needs. We act from autonomy, not pressure. We express our competence by embracing who we truly are. We foster relatedness through genuine relationships. When we're not authentic, when we conform, fake, or mask who we really are, our mental health suffers. Research links inauthenticity with anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, and even physical illness. Number 3. Why authenticity is so attractive. Now let's talk about the magnetism of authenticity. Why do we naturally gravitate toward people who are real? There are several reasons. Authenticity signals confidence. When someone is true to themselves, it shows they're comfortable in their own skin. Confidence in psychology is a signal of stability, competence, and safety. We are evolutionarily wired to trust confident individuals. It promotes psychological safety. Authentic people make us feel safe. Why? Because they're predictable and trustworthy. What you see is what you get. You don't feel like you're being manipulated. Authenticity enhances emotional connection. Genuine people are more emotionally available. They share their thoughts, admit their flaws, and don't hide behind a facade. This creates deep bonds. Studies show that authentic people tend to have stronger, more fulfilling relationships. Authenticity reduces social friction. Fake people are exhausting. You don't know where you stand. You're constantly second-guessing. Authentic people cut through that noise. They're straightforward, and that's refreshing. Number 4. The costs of inauthenticity. If authenticity is so great, why don't more people live that way? Because it's not always easy. Many of us were conditioned to please others, fit in, or chase approval. Over time, we learn to wear masks, at work, in relationships, on social media, but the psychological cost is high. Cognitive dissonance. When you act in ways that go against your values, your brain experiences cognitive dissonance, a mental discomfort that arises from inconsistency. It drains your energy and clouds your judgment too. Loss of identity. Living inauthentically leads to confusion. You forget who you really are. You feel empty, lost, and disconnected from yourself. Social burnout. Pretending is exhausting. Constantly managing impressions and adjusting. Your personality takes a toll. Studies show that people who fake their identity at work are more likely to burn out. Relationship dissatisfaction. Inauthentic people tend to attract others who also wear masks. This leads to shallow connections, misunderstandings, and eventually loneliness. Number 5. The neuroscience of authenticity. Let's go even deeper. What happens in your brain when you're authentic? When you live in alignment with your true self, your brain's default mode network, the part involved in self-reflection, lights up in harmony. You feel clarity, peace, purpose. Being authentic also reduces activation in the amygdala, the brain's fear center. That's because you're not afraid of being found out or rejected. Studies using fMRI scans show that people who live authentically have lower cortisol levels, less stress, greater activation in reward centers, more satisfaction, stronger connectivity in emotional regulation regions. In simple terms, authenticity, brain health. Number 6, how to become more authentic. So how do you actually become more authentic? Here are 7 powerful steps. Know your core values. Start by identifying what truly matters to you. Is it honesty, freedom, creativity, service? Knowing your core values is the foundation of authenticity. Practice radical self-honesty. Get real with yourself. What do you want? What are you afraid of? What are you pretending not to know? Journaling helps bring clarity. Listen to your gut. Your intuition is often a signal from your subconscious. Pay attention to what feels aligned and what doesn't. Say no more often. Authenticity requires boundaries. Don't say yes to things that drain you. Every no to others is a yes to yourself. Let go of approval seeking. Trying to be liked by everyone is the fastest way to lose yourself. The most authentic people are okay with being misunderstood. Surround yourself with real people. Authenticity is contagious. When you're around people who are genuine, you'll feel safe to be yourself too. Accept that not everyone will like you, and that's okay. In fact, that's part of being real. Number 7, authenticity in the digital age. Let's be honest, social media makes authenticity harder. We're constantly curating, editing, performing. The pressure to look perfect, sound perfect, and be liked can push us away from our true selves. But here's the paradox. The most viral posts, the ones that get shared, liked, and remembered, are often the most raw, real, and vulnerable. We crave realness. To be authentic online, share your journey, not just your wins. Don't copy others. Find your unique voice. Speak like a human, not a brand. Admit your mistakes. People relate more to scars than to perfection. Number 8, the power of vulnerability. Authenticity is impossible without vulnerability. Dr. Brené Brown, one of the world's leading researchers on shame and vulnerability, says this: vulnerability is the birthplace of connection and the path to the feeling of worthiness. When you admit you're struggling, when you ask for help, when you share your fears, that's where real connection happens. Vulnerability builds trust, and trust is the glue of all great relationships. So if you want to be authentic, you have to be brave enough to be seen fully. Number 9, the ripple effects of authenticity. When you live authentically, you don't just change your own life. You change the lives of everyone around you. Your authenticity gives others permission to be real. You create safer relationships, healthier work environments, and more honest conversations. You become a leader, not by title, but by example. People feel drawn to you, not because you're perfect, but because you're real. That's magnetic. Number 10, final thoughts. So, let's recap. Authenticity is living in alignment with your true self. It meets your deepest psychological needs. It reduces stress, boosts mental health, and strengthens relationships. Authenticity is magnetic because it signals trust, confidence, and connection. And the world is desperately in need of more real people. You don't need to be anyone else. The real you, the raw, messy, honest, unfiltered version, is more than enough. So be bold, be vulnerable, be real. Because authenticity isn't just attractive, it's powerful. Number 11, authentic leadership. Why real leaders win. Trust in leadership. Authenticity is a superpower. People follow leaders not because of their titles, but because of their trustworthiness. And trust is built on consistency, honesty, and vulnerability. Hallmarks of authentic leadership. According to Harvard research, authentic leaders acknowledge their weaknesses without self-deprecating, stick to their values, even under pressure, lead with empathy, not ego. Why does this matter? Because inauthentic leaders create fear, while authentic leaders create loyalty. They inspire teams to take risks, speak up, and bring their whole selves to work. In short, authenticity isn't a soft skill, it's a leadership strategy. Number 12, authenticity and mental resilience. Authenticity doesn't just make you liked, it makes you strong. When you're true to yourself, you're more emotionally resilient. You bounce back from setbacks faster because your sense of worth isn't tied to external approval. You can handle criticism without crumbling. You can make mistakes without spiraling into shame. Why? Because you're rooted in something solid, your truth. Studies show that authentic individuals experience lower levels of anxiety and perfectionism, greater self-compassion and grit, higher overall life satisfaction. Being authentic doesn't mean life gets easier. It means you become stronger, more centered, and more equipped to navigate whatever comes your way. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And let us know in the comments, what does authenticity mean to you? Thanks for watching.